Hello everyone, I'm Siddharthan. In this video, I wanted to quickly demonstrate how you can set up Pycharm in your PC so that it's easier for you to work on Python projects. You would have already worked on notebook environments like Jupyter Notebooks and Google Collaboratory, but it's very important for you to understand how you can work with IDEs like Pycharm or Visual Studio Code. So, if you're working with scripts, right? So let's say that you want to build a .py file or you want to work with a debugger. So it's going to be really helpful for you. And debugger is another great feature that these IDEs offer. So let's understand how we can set up this PyCharm, how we can create this virtual environment for a project and work with that. So first, go to Google and search PyCharm and go to this JetBrains site. And in that, go to the download option. So you have two versions. One is professional and the other one is community edition. The community edition is free for you to use and it's like open source. So you can download it from here. So I've already downloaded this PyCharm and I'll open this. So as I said, this is a community edition and we can try to install it now. So the installation process is like pretty simple. So it's not like that complex. So you can just click next and you can set up this destination folders you want. So for now, I'll just give the default things. So if you want to open all these .py files with PyCharm, you can just kind of click this one, but I'll just skip this one. You can just leave all these options as a default. So the installation process is going on. So again, this is like PyCharm is like industry level IDEs, and a lot of people in the industries and companies prefer using PyCharm. And some people kind of prefer Visual Studio Code, but it's good to have this experience working with either PyCharm or Visual Studio Code. So please don't refrain yourselves like from using this. Don't just stick to Google Colab or Jupyter Notebooks, because if you're kind of creating these scripts, right, so those notebooks won't help you. So that's like another main thing for understanding this IDEs and how to work in that. I'll maybe pause this video and resume this once this installation is done. So the installation is complete and it's pretty similar for Mac and Linux too. So I can finish this and now I will see this PyCharm icon, or I can just search PyCharm from here. So open this PyCharm Community Edition, and it's always best to have virtual environments for a specific projects. So let's say that a particular project that you are working on requires Pandas specific Pandas version, and a different project that you are working on, you might have to switch to an updated Pandas version. So it's always better to kind of have different versions for different projects, and PyCharm is also kind of helps us to have separate virtual environments to that. You can do this without PyCharm, but again, it's easier to maintain, and you can also connect to Git and so on. So I'll just scroll through this agreements thing and I'll confirm. Okay, so we have this first page in PyCharm, and if you are opening this for the first time, you can go ahead and give this new project. I'm going to skip this tour for now. So give this new project, and here you can choose a particular directory. So in this location, you can maybe open a folder. So let's say that I'm opening this D, and maybe here I'll create a new folder. So I'll create a new folder and call this as Python underscore projects. You can maybe create a folder and have all your projects within this folder. So choose this one, and here you can name like another folder name. So within this Python projects, it's going to create another folder with this particular name, and this will be the environment, Python environment, and the libraries environment for that particular project. I can, let's say, name this as one underscore PyCharm getting started. So this is the folder and the environment that will be. So this is basically the project folder, and within this Python projects, you can have like another project folders and you can work with that. So after that, in this interpreter type, you can either choose base conda. So here I'm going to project VENV. I'm going to choose custom environment, and you can download and install. So if you're using this for the first time, you have this option to download and install like any specific versions of Python. So here the latest version is 3.12.2. I can choose that one. So it's going to download and install, and you can create another project. So it's not going to ask you to download every time. So the first time you will download and install. From the next time you can simply choose this one. So it's 3.12.2, and you can maybe either inherit the packages based interpreter, or you can kind of like skip this one. So maybe I'll skip this one for now. So this will generate a new environment for you, and let's do this create. So here it's kind of downloading this Python 3.12.2 version, and it's setting up our base packages. And within this environment, right, we can do some pip install and install the libraries that we need. So the process is also pretty similar for VS Code too. If you want, you can also try that. The advantage about VS Code is that you can run both .py files as well as notebooks. But in the case of PyCharm, right, in the community edition, you can view the notebooks, but you can't run it. But I think in the professional edition, you should be able to run the notebook files as well. So you can maybe try that out too. The installation is about to be complete. So when we create this projects, right, so this will create a folder called as .venv, and all the libraries that we are going to install will be stored there. And again, if you're creating a new project, there will be a separate .venv file for that. Okay. So the process is complete, and we have this venv, which basically stands for virtual environment. And here I can right click this. So this is this one underscore python getting started. This is my project directory, and I can just right click here and create like a new file. So you can create some text files or like HTML files or anything you want, and you can also create some markdown files. Or if you want to create a Python file, you can do this and maybe name this as main.py. Okay, so we can do that, and here we can write our script. So when you run this for the first time, your indexing kind of happens here, and I can just do a pip install. Sorry, I can just write some print statement saying that hello world. And to run this, you can just choose this current file, like the one that is opened here will be running, and you can run this in order to run this particular main.py file, and we are seeing this result. If you want to put this on debugger mode, you can choose this debugger mode and run it there as well. And debugger mode is like really helpful in order to understand what the values the variables are taking, and there are several uses to this. You can explore that too. So this is how you can set up a particular project. So now the project that we are working on is this one underscore pycharm getting started, and within this we have this libraries and so on. And the other good thing about this is you have this run output that you're seeing here, and you also have this terminal thing where you can access the terminal, and if you want to install something, you will be using this. So this is connected to our venv, our virtual environment. You can clear this to clear the previous things, and here if I want to install some libraries, like I can just say pip install pandas, and this will install the pandas library. And if you want, you can also create a requirements.txt file and run pip install -r requirements.txt from terminal. So this is other thing. And if you want, you can connect your git directory as well, or you can open a project from a git directory, and within that git directory it will create this venv, so you can push your code from this terminal itself. So it's good to kind of practice this terminal commands as well, so that's going to be helpful for you a lot. So if you're, let's say, working with docker, and if you're consistently working with git, pushing the code and so on, so this is going to be useful. So please try to get some experience working with this IDEs and other stuff. So as you can see, it's now installing the pandas and other dependent libraries. So all the libraries are kind of installed, and you can just run a pip list in order to see the list of libraries that has been installed. So once you kind of install some libraries, your index will be updated. So this is my project, right? And the way to create other project is you can go to this main menu thing, and from here you can create a new project. And here again, let's say I'm choosing this same python projects directory which I've already created, and this is my first project. So I'll do this, or select this python projects, and maybe name this as project 2. So now this as like a different project, and you can just leave all these things as such. So you have this option to create Git repository and so on. So create a welcome script will automatically create a main.py file. So you can maybe choose that, and you can choose custom environment. So this will basically choose the earlier Python version that we have downloaded. So you can just do this create thing. You don't have to change anything. You can either create a new window for this, or you can display this in the same window. So that's possible too. So now we have this second project here. So 2 underscore project 2, and here we have a debugger, right? So it's already there. And main.py file, if you want, you can install some other library version. So the packages and the libraries that you're installing in this project is independent of this particular project. So that's the good thing about having a separate virtual environment per project and working on it. And also you have this option to do this debugger and so on. Maybe we have this main.py file, right? Here you can choose to either run this main file or current file. Both are same in this case, but in some cases when you have multiple files, you can choose the name and run a particular file. Here I'll choose main file. So here we have a breaking point here. This breaking point is used to run this code on the debugger. You can just scroll to this serial numbers, right? The line number, and you can click it. You'll see a red dot here, and it's basically a breakpoint, and you can run this on debugger. So the code will stop before running this line number 9, and basically you will see what's the value for this name. So the name value is Pycharm. So the script is running here, and by the time this line number 9 is going to run, right, so you will see the value for the variable name, and it's displayed there, and it's also kind of displayed here. So again, we have this step into code, step over my code. So all these options are here. You can run each line by line, and or you can also navigate to like a particular function that you are using from another library. So all those things are possible with debugger. So it's debugger is like a really helpful tool. So if you are facing some errors or some issues in the code, right, so if you are working with notebooks, so we usually print some variables and see what's the values, but debugger kind of helps us to do all those things in a better way. So that's about it. But overall, this is how you can set up a Pycharm application or software in your machine and create like separate project folders and have virtual environment separately for these things. So I hope this is clear. And also the other reason that I wanted to explain this is like most of the videos that I'm making when I'm doing some Python projects, right? So I'll probably be using PyCharm, and I thought that it would be better if I explain this how you can set up this in your machine so that it's easier for you to follow as well. So that's it from my side for this video, and I'll see you in the next upload. Thanks for watching.